Hey, it's Carl Prusa. Welcome back to Carl Prusa MMA, and I'm with a friend of the show. He is the machine, Mr. Malcom Wellmaker. Malcom, we're here, Conflict MMA 60, and you're not fighting. You're here in the cornering, some of your teammates, but what is it like to be back at Conflict MMA? Obviously, you're coming off of a huge win against Taylor Moore. It could be fight of the year here. I mean, it was such an amazing fight, but what does it feel like to be back here and supporting your teammates?
Makes me want to get back in the cage, man, just to see, the fighters making weight, running into all the people that witnessed the last show and kind of relive some of the moments, talk about all the craziness that went on. It just makes you just want to get back in there and compete again. So luckily I got another fight coming up, so it's all good shortly.
Talking about getting back in there, you just mentioned taking on Chase Boutwell in Atlanta January 20th. Are you looking forward to the fight, and what do you think of him as an opponent?
Man, I'm very excited about that fight, man. Both of us came up in, the local area out here, and both of us are in the same division, and both of us are pretty big prospects out of our area in the 135 division. So he's got a style that makes for an exciting fight, man. He's a good striker. He's got some good jiu-jitsu too, but I think he might bang with me, and if he does, man, it's going to be a highlight reel coming, so I'm very excited about it, very excited.
We mentioned a little earlier, but you're coming off a big win against Taylor Moore, and that was an absolutely amazing fight. You knocked him down a couple times. I mean, it was a 5-round dogfight. A lot of people weren't expecting that.
Oh, yeah.
But overall, what has been the reactions like to that fight? You took out a guy that was on the Contender Series. How have the reactions been from people after that one?
Everybody keep asking me, where's my phone call? Look, man, I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting on it just as much as everybody else. But I think that in itself just tells me that it proved to everybody I am ready for that next level, man. I fought a guy that was so good, so tough from a very high-level camp, and I showed all the necessary traits that I have to fight in the UFC, I believe. And so it's only a matter of time, and I think that everybody truly, truly believes it, and that I showed it in my last fight.
Now let's talk about your training regimen a little bit. Obviously, you work a 40-hour-a-week job. You train almost every single day. I'm pretty sure every single day,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely, every day, yeah.
What is that grind like? We've talked about before, but after now you're starting to pick up steam. You're a 6-0 professional fighter. Your name's getting out there. You're on the top prospects in MMA. Does that motivate you even more now?
Absolutely, man. All the time I'm taking a step back and looking at my training and wondering what can I do to get better, to make it to the next level, to elevate my training. And it's always one step forward every time. I'm working a little bit harder. I'm coming up with different ways to implement things into my camp that's going to take me to that next level. And that's the same thing going on right now. So we're in the camp right now. We're figuring out a couple things that we learned in our last fight, like the real-time application of having a game plan, different ways to make calls, different ways to make adjustments, and that's also in action alongside the physical training and all the other mental stuff we do. So it's big, man. I got a real fire under me. I can't wait. The next fight's gonna be great.
Your coaches were really careful about when to turn you pro. I mean, I think you fought 9 amateur contests.
10.
Do you now 10 of them?
Yeah.
Do you now see the benefits? Are you starting to see the benefits of that long amateur career, making this transition a lot easier to pro MMA?
Absolutely, man, and almost I compare it to the way that my delayed phone call is. I'm getting this experience in these local shows before I get to the UFC, and it's the same kind of thing that happened in the amateurs, man. I got that experience. I fought tough guys. I learned more lessons, so when I went pro, I was more ready, and the same thing's going to happen, man. I'm getting more fights on the amateur circuit, local circuit, than I want, but by the time I do go to the UFC, I'll be ready, man. I'll be steamrolling guys.
No, you've had some great performances, but my favorite, I'm a little biased, I was in attendance for it. I believe it was against Lakes and Sykes. Was that the one last August?
Yeah.
Beautiful knockout. Can you tell me what happened with Jorge Masvidal following the contest?
Bro, this moment lives forever in my gym, man. We talk about it all the time. So Langston Sykes was from Miami, and obviously that's Jorge's city. But I knock out Langston Sykes, and the first thing I did, I just looked around, and then I saw Jorge Masvidal's face, and he was jaw dropped, excited as could be about the performance. And so my impulse was just to hop the cage. I run and I hop the cage, and I run up to him and I shake his hand, and I'm like, look, man, I know he was from Miami, but I had to do it. He was like, no, man, good performance, great performance. I was like, that was the left. He was like, that was the left, man, beautiful. And it was like this incredible moment. I'm probably like remembering in all types of crazy ways, but it was just magical, man. And yeah, it was incredible to share that moment with him. And I've even seen, guys after different, icon events, they'll jump the cage and they'll shake Jorge Masvidal's hand. So I feel like it's a legendary moment that will live absolutely forever, man. MMA Fighting posted it, man, and it went crazy. It's just incredible moment, man. Big moment.
And during that conversation, did he give you a little bit of cash?
Yeah, bro, he pulled out a wad of cash and just pulled out $1,000 and handed it to me. And that was aside from my fight check, bro. It was just, he was like, just a little something for the knockout. And like, I didn't even know how much it was. I gave it to my teammates and we went to the back. And when we counted it out, man, I was back there dancing, man. I'm telling you, it was incredible. It made my night, man.
Malcom, with the big win over Chase in January, do you think you're close to going to the big show?
I'm very close, man. It's literally just a matter of time at this point, man. I'm obviously steadily training, steadily improving. Me and my manager are very, very happy about where we are in my career. And Chase Boutwell is going to be a good opportunity for me to make my case a little bit stronger to get in there. So it's not long, man. Within the next year, for sure, 100%, I'm in the UFC, no doubt about it.
You know, it really feels like you've been fighting forever, but in reality, you've only been a pro now for about a year and a half. Are there ever any times when you need to think to yourself, all right, calm down here? It's only kind of the beginning, only been doing this a year and a half. Yeah. Just kind of calm down from it?
Sometimes, man, but those moments are very, very short-lived, man. It's always, we got so many guys in my team that's in camp, and I'm always, you know, trying to lead by example with those guys because they actually look up to me, and so I try to always make sure I'm staying in shape. You know, I'm showing up to practice, I'm being of service to them, I'm giving them looks, I'm running conditioning practices, so I don't get to get out of shape, you know, and so for a little moment I might be, you know, thinking that I want to take my foot off the gas, maybe I want to take a step back, but I got so many people that I care about also pursuing their dreams. So me just being there for them, it'll pass that little moment by, and next thing I know I'm in camp ready to fight again, so not long.
You know, you're picking up a lot of noise in the MMA community, but you still come to all these events and you support your teammates. How big and how important is that for you to do that?
It's huge, man, because, you know, when I found my gym, they changed my life with the way that they do things, the family that they gave me, you know, the way that they helped me develop as not just a martial artist, but as a man. And so when I'm able to be there for my teammates when they fight on these amateur circuits, you know, a lot of them are still only doing kickboxing and Muay Thai. We got one guy doing his youth MMA fight today. It's his very first experience of all time, but just for me to be able to be there, help him in this camp, help him make weight, come out here, go to dinner with him and all that stuff, man, I know it's priceless. I know it'll make that trip so much more special for him. So I know how much it meant to me, and it means that much to be able to do it to the next generation coming through our gym. So it's very important.
Do you take a lot of pride in acting as a role model and a mentor to these young athletes?
Absolutely, man. It's a big part of what I do, man. Not just the success in the cage as far as an athlete, but being able to show people, you know, the things that you can do in and out of the cage, man. Being a good teammate, being a good friend, being a good brother, man. Being a good student still, you know, I'm still a student, I'm still learning. And I know so many people are looking at me because of the things I accomplished. So I take a great deal of pride in, you know, moving the right way in that way.
All right, last question, Malcom. In a perfect world, what happens January 20th against Chase Boutwell, my man?
Knock him out in 30 seconds. 30-second knockout, and maybe I get another cash bonus. But unfortunately, Jorge Masvidal ain't gonna be there. But that's ideal, man. I go out there, I strike with him just a little bit, man, and I find his chin and I put him out cold, and it makes my case for the UFC once again very, very strong. And that's what I'm looking to do, man.
That's the machine. I'm Carlo Prusa. Stick around.